Hi everyone, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from the Dice Tower. Thanks for joining us.
Today we'll be doing a playthrough of Varia, published by Guildhouse Games.
Let's do it, Tarrant.
Alright, so you ready to play Varia?
Let's smash each other in Varia.
Indeed, so this is a battle card game, and we are using the starter set here. So it'll take us through the basic mechanisms here. Obviously, there's lots of content to come. You're playing, so we've got ourselves, even though we're sitting beside each other, we've got ourselves set up back and forward here, as you typically would in a card battle game. So you are playing as this masked fellow down here.
He looks really cool.
Boom slang.
Boom slang, there you go. Is that an Aussie slang? I'm kidding. Boom slang. Boom.
And I'm Magnus.
Sounds majestic.
Sounds lava-y, which is very consistent with my Molten Ravager axe and so on. So we each begin the game with 30 health. We're using dice to represent this here. You can use pen and paper and other methods as well. And we've each got 10 action points in each round. We're also going to be using these dice in our colours as well to demonstrate the distance mechanism in the game. So at any point, we're either going to be engaged in battle with each other or disengaged. And when you're disengaged, you need to use ranged attacks to attack each other. So there's a big part of the game which is disengaging yourself when you know there's a big melee attack coming.
So you don't need to see the numbers there, so just represent us.
Correct. And then these dice here, these ones will be used as part of the battle mechanism. All right, so we've got ourselves set up here. We've each got our decks. We've each got some tokens and stack cards that belong to us, and these can come into play through the effects of our cards. And we've got our items shown here. So when we're playing cards, we can either play cards from our hand or from our items, and we get our items back at the end of each round, while our the action cards from our hand, they get discarded. So with that, I think we go straight into it. It is a battle through 30 health. So normally we draw 2 cards at the start of each turn, but in this case, start of the game, we draw 6 cards.
So we are trying to knock each other down by attacking each other, pretty much.
Yes.
And by playing cards. So it's kind of like, I would almost say typical duel battle card game, but not really that typical, because there are still combos that you can do. There are other unique things in this game.
Yes. All right, we need to pick a first player.
Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3. I go first.
You are first.
So I will be the active player first.
Yes. All right, so normally to start the turn, we would draw 2 cards. We've gone past that. Next, the active player chooses whether or not to move. So at the moment, we start the game disengaged. And you need to choose whether you're going to move and engage or not move and disengage and stay disengaged.
Stay disengaged for me.
Okay. I'll just put them here. They'll like move up and down like on a fencing piece.
That's it. All right. So I will start by this magical attack, which is range, and also range attack. So 2 cards out of the 3 possibilities that I can play.
So these are both attacks. Right, so that was the action phase. And you've played these here. So now it's the reaction phase, and I get the chance to play a card against either or both of these. I can't play any cards outside the 2 moments that have already been created, but I can play 2 there. So I've got 2 options. I can either try to attack, I can play an attack, and then when the attacks clash, whoever has the stronger attack damages the other. The other option is I can go in with a block. And if I block, we check to see whether your attack misses first, and then my block removes some amount of the damage that you might have done if you didn't miss. So it's like with the attack, it's just a firefight. With the block, I've got 2 chances to reduce the incoming damage. So I'm going to block, and I'm going to immediately use a card that does something special. So I'm going to plan Combat Reflexes. This is a physical block. Even though this is a magical attack, I can use any type of block against it. And it has a when you plan this action effect. It's create a token that is a copy of it in the next available moment. So these are my tokens over here. I find another Combat Reflexes card and I create it in the next available moment. And then this one also says when you plan this action, create in the next available moment. So I would keep going until I ran out of moments, which is what I've done. So essentially, I have gone into the start of the battle with great combat reflexes. It gives me a good chance of not being hit. As you can see with the flavor text here, armor is for people who get hit. So that is the reaction phase. Now it is the fast action and fast reaction. So if either of us has fast cards, which is anything shown, well actually you've got one here already. It says fast and it has a lightning bolt in the corner. With a fast card, you can either play a fast card to combo with a card you already have, or you can play a fast card to replace one that you've already played. And that lets us sort of change up the battle.
All right. I won't do any fast action this round.
And neither will I.
All right.
Okay, so it's time to go into resolutions. So we'll resolve moment by moment. So first thing that happens is we have to pay the action point cost of the action. So mine costs me 2, and yours costs you 4.
4, yep.
Next, we check for any start of moment effects, and you'll see there's a little hourglass there with the sand up the top. That's a start of moment effect. Also says it in the text. So this will resolve. If you are disengaged from your target, which you are, then this action gets +3/+3 until the end of the moment. So at the moment, it's 3 attack and 3 focus. So now it's 6 and 6.
Woohoo!
Quite a strong one.
Yes.
I do not have anything there.
All right.
All right. Now we have clashing cards. And this is where we do a roll of the dice. So we will roll. Let's roll them first. So we've got a focus die, which is the D4, and a power die, which is the D6.
Wow. Oh no.
Okay. So the focus of your card is equal to its base focus plus the die roll. So yours is 7.
+1, 7.
6 plus 1 is 7. And the power is the same. So you've got 6 plus 2 is 8. I've got a power of 4 and a focus of 9, because this is 5 plus 4. Because we've got attack versus block, we check focus first. My focus as the defender is greater than your focus as the attacker, so your attack misses. And you would have hit in the case of a tie, but I did have more. All right, so that moment is done. We move on to the next one. You have your aimed edge. That will cost you 3 action points. And I still have combat reflexes, so that will cost me 2. There are no start of moment effects. And that's it. There are no special effects here. So we roll the dice again. All right, I've got 4 power and 7 focus.
I've got 2 focus and 3 power.
So 2 plus 3, total of 5 focus. So 5 focus versus 7. My reflexes were too good for you in this round.
Unfortunately.
You miss again. So there we go. Both of your hits missed.
All right.
All right, so we discard these action cards. We'll create a discard pile over here to the right. This one was actually a token, so I'll put it back in my token pile. And that is the end of the round. We go back up to 10 action points. So we'll always have 10 action points per round. And we draw 2 new cards to add to the hand we already had. Second step is to choose whether or not to move. I am not going to move, I'm going to stay disengaged. Then I'm going to plan my actions. And you'll see why I've stayed disengaged. I can just engage again. Some of these cards will give you an engage effect at the start. So I'm going to play Spellbreaker into the first moment. And the effect on here as well is if you play a magical action against it, then this action gets stronger. So it limits you really to playing physical against it. All right, then I'm going to I'm going to play one of my weapons. So I'm going to use the Thorium Crusher here. And I'm just going to play that. All right. So I can play as many cards as I want, but I've only got 8 action points. I've only got 10 action points, 8 are spent here, so I'm going to finish it like that.
Okay.
All right, so your reaction phase.
I react. Though with backflip, that will disengage. And this is the second one.
So when we do our start of effect, this one disengages, and when we do the start of effect, the active player resolves first and then the reactive player. So we're going to be disengaged. My attack here is going to miss because it's not ranged. And then this one will also miss because it's not ranged. So really what I want to do is re-engage with you. So I'm going to combo these two cards together. This was why I held a couple of action points back. This is a fast card. I'm going to combo it with this card. It will make the whole effect of the cards more powerful.
Let's pay the cost as well.
We pay that when we resolve it.
That's right.
In case there's some impact on action points as we move through. Okay? Are you going to react?
No.
Okay, so time to resolve. So we each spend 4 action points on this first moment. I engage, and then you disengage, and because of that, my attack will automatically miss. All right, so we're shaping each other out at the moment.
Should we be shy to each other?
All right, so we move to the second moment. I spend 6 action points, and you spend 4. All right, so there's only one start effect, which is I engage. I engage with you.
With black front flip.
And if this action caused you to move, which I did, I get an extra power die until the end of the moment. So right now this attack is worth a total of 2 power dice because it's got 2 cards on it, plus an extra one for this. So I get to roll this die 3 times. So yours is also an attack. So this is attack versus attack. Unless we roll equal, someone's getting hurt here.
Looks like you've been rolling better than me.
I'm sure my luck will fail.
We'll see. All right.
Okay, so with attack versus attack, focus, we still roll the focus die. It only matters if there's an effect that combos off it. So I've got a base, power, and focus of 3. And because of all these dice, I get to roll 2 focus and 3 power. So 3 and 3, 4 and 6, 6 and 8, 11 and 8.
Wow.
So I've got a power of 11.
All right.
You've got a base of 4.
Oh no.
It goes to 5. All right. Now we've both hit each other, even though... Actually, let me do the damage part first. So I got 11 power and you've got 5. So you're going to suffer 6 damage. It's as simple as that. You suffer the difference because you were lower. However, we both hit each other. And you've got an on-hit effect, which is to apply 1 stack of hemotoxin to your target after damage is dealt and only if the attack hits. So this is hemotoxin. This is a stack card, this little one. It goes into my character area and it has a negative effect to me. So whenever I am dealt damage by a physical action, I gain 1 stack of bleeding. I cannot lose stacks of bleeding. Only the topmost stack is in effect. So this is going to, as you start to hit me, I'm going to start to bleed and I'm going to lose more damage because with bleeding, I've got a bleeding stack here, you lose 1 health point for each stack of bleeding that you have and then lose 1 bleeding, but I never lose bleeding. So basically it's just going to increase my damage by 1 every time.
It's not too bad. You still have 30.
And in fact, it's going to be at the end of each time I take an action. So I'm just, even if I'm out here retreating, I'm just going to be bleeding and suffering. So you've started a clock on me. I've only got 30 actions left.
30 action, that's a lot.
And but you have to deal me damage before I bleed. So I'm good until you strike the first
Park
blow.
me. Park.
Yes. All right. So there are no end of moment effects here. That's the end of the round. So we discard the action cards. This was an item, so it goes back into my collection here. The items they're generally not as strong. So you get to use them over and over, which is good because once your deck runs out, you also start to get you get fatigue, you start to suffer more damage. So you really need to manage your deck. All right, you are now the active player.
I am indeed.
Draw 2 cards. And so we are currently engaged. We are married, but our characters are engaged. So you first choose whether to move.
So, as an active player, I'm going to stay engaged. And I'm going to play my first card, which is Varia Tarrant, which is a range, but I'm going to play the second card, Transfusion Trigger.
Okay, so a couple of magical attacks there. I do need to be wary of this one. It does no damage to me, but it will make me fatigued, which will further sap my health every time I take an action.
If you get hit.
I really want to try to dodge that. It is a ranged attack, so I'm going to pick my best defensive card.
Plus you've got the bleeding status as well.
I could have the bleeding. Once you damage
that's
me,
right,
I bleed. All right, so I'm going to do Sublimate. That's my best block, and I will hope to dodge it. And I will go toe-to-toe with you on this moment, so I'm going to play my Thorium Crusher back in. Okay, fast actions.
I'll add my Bowie knife to the Transfusion Trigger.
Okay,
That's
so that
fast
works
action.
within your 10 action points.
Correct.
Forgot to reset those.
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly 10.
I am not going to play a fast reaction.
Sure.
All right. First moment. This is the important moment of truth here.
The moment of truth.
So this is attack versus block. So we check focus, then power. Right, now you don't have a square symbol here, so you
That's
don't
right,
roll
yeah.
for power.
Okay.
All right. All right, so I have failed to block it. I've got a total of 8 focus. You've also got 8 focus. So as the active player, you hit. So on hit, so you actually do have 2 options here. You can either ruin one of my items so that I won't be able to use that again, or you can give me fatigue so that I lose a health every action.
I'll give you fatigue.
Okay, so I take a fatigue stack, then I add it here to my other stacks. So actions you perform now have you lose 1 health point for each stack of fatigue you have. So
Just slow burn.
Slow burn, I'm down to 29. That one is done.
At least you don't get extra damage with it. That comes with it.
That will be of cold comfort to me as I slowly dwindle my damage. So
I mean,
we did forget to pay the costs here.
Yes,
as well.
and then the bleed. It doesn't bleed this time.
Not yet. We'll see how this goes. All right. You spend your last 5 action points on the Transfusion Trigger Bowie knife.
Correct.
I spend 4 using my Thorium Crusher. It is... There are no start effects. We have weapon versus... or attack versus attack. Yours, I'll give you this extra pair of dice. You've got 2 power and 2 focus. I've got 1 and 1.
Because I've got 2 cards. 1 each. Wow.
All right. Thorium Crusher has an effect where if I roll the maximum value on a focus die, it gets bonus, but I rolled a 1. So it just has 9 power.
With 3 focus.
With 3 focus, but we don't check focus because it's attack versus attack.
Yep.
You have got 2 and 2, plus 6 is 8 for power. Your focus is 9.
4, 3, 2. Yeah.
Yep. This one has an ability that you regain health points equal to the damage dealt. But because I was 9 versus 8, I deal you 1 damage. So you still haven't drawn blood, but my fatigue loses me another point here. So I'm avoiding the bleeding, just for now.
Just.
All right.
You've been lucky.
I have been. I'm sure it won't last. All right, so we discard.
And my item goes to the item stack area.
We restore to 10 action points. and draw 2 new cards to start the next round. I am going to disengage. Then I'm going to do quite a long one here. So
Sure.
I'm going to play a Shield Spear, and then another Shield Spear,
Ooh.
and then Spellbreaker,
That reminds me of Star Wars.
and then go in with my Molten Ravager.
Wow.
So I'm going to give you 4 moments to deal with here.
Let me use one of my items, the cheapo items, for the first one. Now, I haven't played this before, and this is part of my speciality. I will play Snakebite. So, Snakebite is a special one. This action can be planned as if it has fast, as long as the target has less, but I'm not using the first part of the text, but the most importantly is the second text. When you plan this action, create a token that is a copy of it in the next available moment. So the next one actually says the same. There you go. I've got
There you go.
Snakebite, Snakebite, Snakebite.
So fast reaction opportunity. I'm just going to have a look at this one. Engage your target. If their action is magical, then gain some extra. I'm not going to change anything out there, so
Okay.
nothing.
Neither am I.
Time to resolve. So the first one here, this is attack versus block. We're currently disengaged, and I can make this ranged if I discard a block from my hand. So that's what I will do. I discard a block. This is ranged. It's +2 power, but -2 focus. So I got 4-0, and you've got 0-3. So we roll the dice.
I got 4 and 2.
All right, so attack versus block, we do a focus check. You've got 5 versus 3, so the attack misses.
Miss.
Finished. All right, now we have Shield Spear versus Snakebite. This one is attack versus attack. Once again, I have to discard a block to treat this as ranged. But because it's ranged, I will hit, whereas you will not. So we still do our rolls.
6 and 1.
6 and 1 minus 6 and 3. So you missed. My power is 10 because it was 2 plus 2 for this plus 6. Even though you missed, we still count the difference as damage. So 10 versus 8, you suffer 2 damage.
And let's not forget your fatigue.
Oh yes, let's not forget my fatigue. So I've had 2 actions now. That will cost me
2 fatigue.
2 in fatigue.
So far, yeah.
But you still haven't drawn blood, so I still don't have bleeding.
I know.
And let's keep it that way. All right. Third moment is Spellbreaker. Start effect is I engage. Unfortunately, yours is not magical. Otherwise, I would have got some bonus abilities out of it. And this is attack versus attack. So let's roll. Ooh.
4 and 1.
4 and 1. So we don't do a focus check. You've got 6 power. I've got 4. So now it starts. So you do 2 damage to me there. And because of Hemotoxin, whenever I'm dealt damage, I gain a stack of bleeding. And I can't lose my stack of bleeding. And now I lose 1 health for each of these. So you've poked me once, and I'm down to 22.
We're close now.
We are indeed. All right. The final one is the Molten Ravager. So this is 2 action points. The action points, by the way, we've shown you the action points ticking down, but you can sort of see how it's, you can kind of count the action points as you're planning. So I'm going to remove these dice now and not continue tracking the action points. This one here, I engage the target. You don't have an effect there. So this is a pretty, this is attack versus attack once again. And it's actually given you the opportunity to hit me with quite a, I have quite a weak attack here. So I rolled a 5, that's not too bad.
That's 2 to 2. 2 and
Okay.
2, sorry.
So we don't do a focus check for attack versus attack. I've got 6 power, you've got 4. So you lose 2 health. And for my fatigue and bleeding, I lose 2 health. There we go.
There you go.
So
One.
that is the end of this turn. I get my item back. Your tokens come back here, and these other cards are discarded. So we're really getting into some combat here
Let's
now.
put it there. That's my item.
All right, draw 2 cards, and your turn. You're down on health, but I think you're in a commanding position here.
Don't know about that. I mean, I need to play a slow game here so that you just like keep churning and then burn you down. All right, I will stay engaged.
Yep.
I'll play Transfusion Trigger as my first moment. Second moment is Slice them up. Now, this can be a fast card, this can be combo, but I'm gonna play this separately. So does this one. So just in case, you know, if I combine it, it would be a more powerful attack, but there's also a chance that Tarrant will play backflip or anything dodging the attack. So I'll just split it for now. We'll see what happens.
Yes. Unfortunately, I was probably a bit foolhardy in discarding all my blocks when I was throwing those spears before. So
Right.
I'm in a bit of a rough position here.
So you can choose not to play any cards.
I can choose not to play, and that helps me a little bit because bleeding happens at the end of every moment, but fatigue happens at the end of every one of my actions.
I see.
So I can save a little bit of health by hoping to endure this this rain of bullets that's about to happen.
How about those items? You can still play them.
I can still play them. What I might do, I'll play my Thorium Crusher here.
Bait it into fatigue so easily.
But hopefully I will avoid, because this one, if you roll big and it's unopposed, then
could be fatal.
You'll heal a lot.
That's true, actually.
So I think I'll do that, and yeah, I should do something.
I'll do
That's this.
Okay. All right.
I'll do this here.
Okay, that's okay.
But I will leave one empty. I'll just take that hit.
Okay, hopefully I do roll big. All right, let's do this.
Fast actions.
Oh yeah, fast action. No.
And I also won't do any fast actions. We've shown comboing cards with fast actions. You can also replace one. So if you don't have room in your 10 action points to cover something, you can just swap it out.
It's like surprise! Ha!
And it has a couple of effects. It means that you can respond to the engagement or disengagement. It also puts it into an additional discard pile called the Forgotten Pile, which can have some different combos. Okay, so with that, let's go through these. So this is attack versus attack. So we simply roll. If I roll a 4 on my focus die, then I'll get +3 power.
Ooh.
Oops. I did not. And I rolled low.
5 and 4.
Okay, this is bad news for me.
Oh no.
So 7 to 4. So I suffer 3 damage. I also suffer another bleeding. You have attacked me, so I get another bleeding
and
on
fatigue.
my stack. I don't get another fatigue, but I suffer all the damage from that, so I go down to 14.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I do gain health though. I gained
You gain 3
health. So that'll be 22 now.
Yep.
Table's turn.
Table's looking bad for me. All right, slice them up. This is unopposed, so you simply roll and I suffer.
Just roll this one then.
Yep.
5.
5. So I suffer 5 damage.
It's down to 9.
Down to 9. Where is the 9? There it is. Plus I bleed again, and I didn't do fatigue, so I lose 3 damage for that. So I'm down to 6. Oh dear.
Oh dear, the last one.
Okay, last one, Molten Ravager. So we've both got starter effects to engage the target.
We already engage.
Yep. And you can, if you want, with this one, pay 2 action points to add an additional power
I will
die.
do that. Yep. I should have done it before in here as well. But I could have done that, but I didn't. So this is how it works. Yep. So I have to be merciful. Ready? Okay.
All right, so you have 6 power. I have 3. So I drop down to 3. I get bleeding. I get all of my fatigue and things. That's it.
Oh no!
So as you said, you really softened me
Yes.
up early on, and then wiped me out with those stacks. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. So
I only really, it was all going badly for me. I only had
Let's
one
really
more. I only had one more trick up my sleeve if I had a chance.
I was worried of that card because, that's a very dangerous one.
Card. It's a very strong card, 10 power. What's fun about it is if you roll a maximum number on the focus die when using Decapitate, this action gets plus infinity power. And this happens to you. But that did not happen to you. That happened to me. So I'm bleeding.
I had a feeling that you were going to play that next if you're still alive. Are you?
I probably should have played it in response to Slice Them Up, but I thought I just had enough to survive this round.
Yeah, I mean,
not to be.
I've been rolling bad, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm catching up. Yeah. The dice is my friends now.
So we have it. That is Varia. That is the starter set only. So, we've shown you a number of things that can happen with items and stacks and some of the types of cards. But there's a lot more to the world of Varia that works within these basic rules.
So this is a 2-player game.
Yes.
This is the my cool card, Shield Kick. And where is that? I do like the Snake Bite. There you go, Snake Bite again. So I can play that. There's a combo. It feels like at first I feel like my character's quite weak, and you have this really strong attack, but then it's just that slow burning, and then and all of a sudden that you're dead before you were able to play the mini card.
They're all mean.
Decapitate. Sorry.
Yep. So a major part of these are starter decks straight out of the box and play. There's a big element of pre-game deck building that you can do with these, and you will have seen these icons down here in the bottom right corner. These contribute to how you build your decks together.
Yes.
Also, the items, you'll see they have a coin cost on them. You can have up to $30 worth of
items to
when
start
you
with.
When you choose them or draft them before you play.
I'm going to have to show this one because I didn't get a chance to use it, but this is the Void Walk, and it's equal to 3 plus the highest of this logo requirement of cards in my discard pile. So look at that. I've got this one. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could deal a lot of damage in there.
Indeed, there's a number of things that in this base starter you didn't see in full, and it includes combos with those icons. It includes lots of combos between magical and physical, and then these other subtypes here: vampiric, assassination, hammer. So lots to explore as you get into the world of Varia.
That's it, and congratulations to you.
For what?
For being
a good sport, lying on the ground with no health, with blood and tired.
Okay then.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that's our playthrough of Varia. Hope you enjoyed the video.
If you find the video useful, please help us by hitting the like button and subscribe to the Dice Tower if you haven't already done so.
If you have any comments, feedback, you can pop that in the comment sections below.
Thanks for watching, and see you next time.